Welcome to a quick review lesson on solving two-step equations. We're going to take a look at 4 equations and solve them. When solving two-step equations, we are going to use inverse operations in order to isolate the x variable. Our first line of attack, go after all addition and subtraction. We are going to zero out terms by doing the opposite. If we have a gain of 5, the opposite is to subtract 5 and zero out that term. However, if we have a loss of 7 minus 7, we will add 7 in order to zero out that term. We do the opposite. The same is true for multiplication and division. When we have multiplication by a value like 6, what's the opposite? Well, we divide by 6. And the same is true with division. If we have divided by 5, the opposite is to multiply by 5. And in this case, we're going to one out the term. Always go after addition and subtraction first. Multiplication and division second. Let's start with number 1. On a piece of notebook paper, jot down the equation 4x minus 7 equals 21. Drop a dotted line down your equation when you have it written. Pause the video if you need a little time to write this equation down. Now, let's look at the minus 7. We need to zero out that term. We're going to do the opposite. Let's add 7 to the left and add 7 to the right and zero out that term. We're left with 4x equals 21 plus 7 is 28. Now we need to get rid of the coefficient of 4. We see the way it's written, we're multiplying by 4. So let's do the opposite and divide. Bar 4, bar 4. That means divided by 4. 4 divided by itself is 1, and we're left with the x by itself. 28 divided by 4 is 7. Try the next one on your own. Drop a dotted line, pause the video, and see if you can complete this on your own. When you're done, turn the video back on. Pause the video now. You should have gotten an answer of 10 equals y. First, subtract 15 from both sides. Then, divide both sides by 2. Make sure you use the bar technique when you divide. Let's take a look at our third problem. Problem number 3 states g divided by 5 minus 4 equals 8. Write this down on a sheet of paper. Pause the video if you need to. Solve this equation using inverse operations. Let's start by adding 4 to each side to zero out this term. What are we left with? G divided by 5 equals 12. Now remember, this bar means divided by, and the inverse or the opposite of dividing by 5 would be to multiply by 5. In this case, multiply by 5 over 1 in fraction form, since the left is in fraction form. And on the right side, a simple 5 will do. Now, what you get is g equals multiplied 12 by 5, use your calculator if necessary, you should have gotten 60. Try the last one on your own. Please jot down problem number 4 on a sheet of paper, drop a dotted line down the equal sign, and solve for the value of y. Pause the video, and when you're ready, turn the video back on. Please pause the video right now. Let's take a look. We're solving for y. So let's eliminate plus 20 by subtracting 20 first from both sides. Then we have to get rid of the divided by 3. So multiply both sides by 3. 3 times 10, your final answer is 30 equals y. This concludes the video for two-step equations.